Environmentalists say the African continent has warmed about 1/2 a degree Celsius over the last century and that it is a key development issue for sub-Saharan Africa. Earlier this year, the World Bank and other partners launched the Connect for Climate campaign, or C4C. VOA's Paul Diho recently talked to Teddy Rouge, one of the creators behind this unique social media outreach.
Connect for Climate is a campaign, a competition, and a community of people that care about climate change. We've concentrated specifically on engaging African youth in this conversation on climate change, specifically because COP17 is going to be in Durban this year. And we wanted to see what the continent has to say about climate change, and we convened over 100 partners to help us mobilize those youth to engage with other members of the global community who care about climate change and engage in real dialogue about solutions.
It's interesting that you talked about this massive feedback that you're getting from the continent, and at times when you talk to people, some think it's a myth, some think it's real. So what do you gather from some of your findings?
It's interesting that you would ask that, because that's one of the things that we knew was going to happen. One of the very first questions I think I remember asking on our Facebook page was whether or not whether or not people thought climate change was a myth. And it's kind of balanced halfway. It's like some people think it's a myth, other ones are rooted in the science of climate change. What has surprised me is the quality of photography and the sheer number. Because when we did start, some people were doubting that we would even get 10 or even 20. But when we reached out and we started seeing the submissions coming in, when we crossed 100, we were like, wow. When we crossed 200, we were like, wow. And it was interesting to see what kind of thread was running through these submissions. And a lot of them had to do with access to energy, access to water. Like, for example, Kenya, an overwhelming majority is dealing with water and access to clean drinking water.
What are governments or what are individuals on the continent doing maybe to adapt to this? Because if this is real, they have to come up with some ways of adapting to the changing weather patterns.
For individuals, we kind of need examples, like good examples from government officials. First off, we need government officials to kind of lead us in the right way and say these are the best practices for adapting to climate change. Avoid this, but take up these practices. We need better education in terms of access, because a lake might be drying up, we might not know why. We might be getting more landslides in a particular community. We might not connect the fact that we're cutting down trees for more and more charcoal use that leads to the landslides, and that affects entire economies. We need better access to information.
Speaking about going green, some interesting news came out of Uganda. For the first time, some African students made an electric car.
Part of the reason we targeted this young generation, 13 to 35-year-olds, they fit right into that, because we think solutions to their environment and how they look at their future and how they fit into the global picture, this car represents exactly what we were thinking. It's like the solutions lie among these individuals. We can't create solutions for the environment, for the continent, by not including their voices and their solutions and their ideas. And I think it's really telling of the ingenuity that can come out of this generation when it's empowered. Now imagine if we had this investment program specifically targeted at these kinds of high-level solutions. That car is not something you would think that would come out of Uganda.